Nigel, that was a pretty short Christmas break. It's St. Stephen's Day morning now. The team is out to play Ulster and it's all set again.
Yeah, it's short, William, I suppose. And look, we knew it would be, but at least we got a game going ahead tomorrow with obviously the Leinster-Munster game postponed today. Look, we're grateful even to get the opportunity to go out again tomorrow. Hopefully the storm Bella, is it, that will have blown over by 7:30 tomorrow night, and and we look forward to taking to the pitch at the Sportsground again.
Yeah, let's hope it's well gone. Otherwise, it could be quite tricky. It might make your captain's run this afternoon a little bit interesting if it gets going in time.
That it will, but at least it might blow some of the cobwebs off from the lads, whatever kind of amount of turkey and the size of some of them fellas now. I'd say they get through a couple of turkeys each, so at least this wind might blow some of the cobwebs away. And it was a short break. We finished up there around 3 p.m. on Christmas Eve, and so those who were able to were getting a chance to get home just to their to their families, and they're back on the road again this morning, back to the Sportsground for again just a light session and just again the team run, just final prep ahead of the game tomorrow.
Just looking at the side, 6 changes from the Bristol game. Tiernan O'Halloran is in at fullback. We've got Caolan Blade starting at 9. But Quinn Rue coming back into the second row, which means Owen Masterson can go to the back row. And of course, Owen Masterson will earn his 100th cap. So it's a big night for him.
Yeah, what a special day for a special person. He's been... Again, we go back, I don't know how many years ago it is now, maybe 4. He had an absolutely horrific knee injury out in Italy against Ebre, and we thought that was a career-ending situation. But in fairness to his resilience and his own commitment and determination, he found a way back. And again, a testament to him that he's amounted 100 games in such a short period of time. And again, it's down to his own level of individual preparation, how he looks after himself, in terms of his prehab work and his recovery. He's, when we look at team selection every week, he's always available. And again, since that horrific injury, I mean, he's worked so hard on his body to build up that durability that he's always available for selection now. And I said he has that flexibility where the last few games and when Quinn and Gavin have been away, he's able to slot into the second row position, and this week he's able to accommodate us in the back row. So again, very versatile, but because of his durability, he's become a very important member of the squad. And I said we congratulate him, of course, on his 100 cap. It is a real a testament to any player that can amount so many games, particularly in at the current level of physicality in the game, is to amount so much is a real testament to the work that he does.
Yeah, it's absolutely.
But there's a couple of other changes across the team as well. And I mean, and by no means does this devalue sort of the level of competitiveness. And Caolan Blade is back in for Kieran Marmion, and Kieran just will come off, start from the bench. And again, Shane Delahunt comes in for Dave Heffernan, and he will start from the bench. And again, Caolan and Shane have been tremendous for us, particularly when the lads were away in Irish camp. They were key members of that team who were week in, week out, again, ensuring that we were competitive. So again, it's to keep those guys ticking over and to keep the competitiveness in the squad. But we do welcome back Quinn. He's his first return now since his international campaign. Obviously, he was laid off in some ways for the last couple of weeks, with a COVID scare. So we welcome him back, and as what an addition he is to the team.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'll pass on my congratulations to Owen Masterson. I was in Italy commentating that day when that injury. It's one of the worst I've ever seen. It happened right down in front of us, and he came back on the plane that night, and he's done remarkably well to come back and as you say, be so versatile. On the COVID situation, another positive test this week, which takes a number of players who are close contacts out as well. But is that just a sign that the system is working and you just have to to just keep testing and keep control. It's quite a, it's
yeah,
quite
100%.
it's quite a logistical exercise, isn't it?
Oh, it's man. There's a huge amount of resources that go into it, and like even to the level of how we sort of have to go about our business, the level of stringency around even our social distancing at. You think about it in the gym, but the lads still have to keep their social distancing there. There's no indoor meetings. Everything is trying and conducted outside. And again, out of 60 to 70 people this week, we've got one case, and again, it's a community case, and because the lads, they share houses and so forth, that we have a couple of close contacts then on the back of that, and again, a lot of is precaution, but it's sort of it's the run of the mill now. It's not something that we flinch about. It happened a couple of weeks ago, and it does happen, but we know that the lads, they're doing everything in their power to protect themselves and each other, and to ensure that the show goes on every week, and we know that they're doing their best. And the fact that there's only one case is a testament to the to the level of discipline and how the lads are conducting themselves have been fantastic. So it's a setback, but it's a minor setback, and again we'll be they're doing their best to make sure that the show goes on, and they continue to do so. But we'll move on regardless this week, and so we're delighted to again just to get this game going ahead tomorrow. When there's games, I think Benetton Zebra has been postponed. Obviously, Leinster Munster has been postponed. So great work really on behalf of the lads and everyone there that's put the measures in place to make sure that we can get these games going ahead. So I said, well done to all.
And it's Ulster tomorrow night. A bit like yourselves, coming maybe into this game with disappointment in Europe. They lost their two matches as well. But interestingly, Geordie Murphy at the press conference during the week, the Ulster press conference, pointed out that Ulster haven't won an away interprovincial since they beat Connacht in 2015, which I think is a pretty startling statistic. That game was played around Christmas 5 years ago. So it's does that actually mean anything at all, or is that just that's something to drive them on, but also you need a win?
Yeah, hopefully that trend will continue tomorrow. That they even by 10 o'clock tomorrow night, they still haven't won an interpro on the road for 5 years. So, I think that's maybe their motivation for something that they want to achieve. They're certainly, Dan has done a great job with those. They've, they were unbeaten in the Pro 14 up until the Champions Cup 2 rounds, and even their performances in those two have been noteworthy. I mean, they pushed Toulouse all the way, and again a last minute disappointment against Gloucester when they gave up 10 points in the last few minutes. It cost them dearly, but by no means did they perform in any way poorly. So I said they're very competitive, and we expect the same from tomorrow night. A few changes to their side, but they still have weapons right across their team, and we know we're going to need to front up. We were disappointed with our 2 losses in Champions Cup, but again, we were pretty pleased with a lot of aspects of our performances. But we know, we're on our home patch again, and we know that it's going to be a tough battle. But once we match Ulster physically and up front, I said we can put our own stamp in the game and hopefully score some tries.
Anything specifically that you're looking to improve on from those 2 games in Europe to get the job done?
Yeah, well, from an attack point of view, I thought we created a lot of opportunities, particularly against Bristol. We got into their the scoring zone at kind of 22, maybe 5-10 metres out from their line on 5 or 6 occasions, and only got a return, maybe on 2 of those. So it's just that level of accuracy and seeing the opportunities when the space is there, and having the composure and again the confidence to go after it and make sure that we take all of those opportunities and convert them into points, because that just puts so much pressure on the opposition that every time you're given a chance to score, if you can take it, it does feed that sort of doubt into the opposition. So it's very much it's very much been our focus in terms of our attack. I think we also gave away, too many sort of soft penalties around the middle of the pitch there, again, with a bit of pulling and dragging. And that gave easy access to Bristol last week into our half of the pitch, at which they were able to get their scores from. So, again, to keep those penalties and those kind of controllable moments, to a minimum where, again, the opposition has to work harder to get that access into our half. And we're trying to make teams work from real deep. If they want to play, they got to play from deep and force them to run the ball out of their half. And that's where we get our turnover opportunities as well. So, we just got to keep doing what we've been doing. We know what's brought us success. We know what works for us in terms of how we want to play the game. And when we do that, we can put a lot of pressure on teams, and it's to ensure that we do that consistently.
I'll finish by asking you, because it'll be the last time I'll speak to you in 2020, which has been a very odd sort of a year. What have you taken out of it? What have you maybe learned? Has COVID taught you anything about rugby, and has stuff come at you in different directions? Is there any one take that you've had on this crazy 9 months that started in March?
Well, in some ways, I'm delighted that I'm part of a professional rugby team, so that for the last 6 months, I certainly had a purpose to my day of getting up and being able to get out of the house and try and work with, again, fantastic, like-minded people, in Connacht rugby, who are all ambitious to succeed and to get that opportunity to be able to do that. Again, it sort of makes you feel grateful for what you do and appreciate, these are, maybe the small mercies, but the opportunities that you've been given, you have to appreciate those and make sure that you treasure them and don't take it too flippantly. It's important. There's so many people who aren't able to work or are working from home, and life is difficult and very challenging right now. So we're very fortunate, and I think it's just to appreciate, any of the small things that you have. I think it's important to treasure them.
Nigel, thank you very much for your time. Good luck tomorrow. We'll have the game live in full here on Galway Bay FM and all the reaction to it afterwards. And stay safe, and we'll talk again in 2021.
Yeah, great. Looking forward to it, William, and said all the best. And thanks for everything.